Hi and welcome to this DCP Web tutorial. In today's tutorial I'm going to give you a beginner's guide to Movie Edit Pro Plus 2017. So this piece of software I downloaded recently, and it's video editing software that I use to edit videos before I upload them to YouTube or Facebook. So normally what I would do is do a screen capture video just like you're seeing now, and I use a piece of software called Snagit. This is it running right now. So that is actually capturing everything on the screen and it's capturing the audio. And once I've done that capture, I'll use Movie Edit Pro Plus to do the video editing, because I want to add an intro slide, and then add an end slide to the video and do some cutting in the video. So I'm going to show you how I do that in Movie Edit Pro Plus. So I'm going to load up the software now. So I've just launched the software. It's asking me to do an update to Magix Movie Edit Pro Plus. There's an update available, but I'm going to do that a bit later. We'll do this tutorial first. So as default, when Magix loads up, it's going to ask you, do you want to open an existing project, load an existing project, or do you want to create a new one? And you need to select the options in here quite carefully. So I'm going to create a new project, but you need to select the right type of format for that particular video that you're creating. So depending if you're doing screen capture, for example, if I'm screen capturing off of my computer, I know that it's 1080p resolution, so it's 1920 by 1080, and I'm capturing at 25 frames a second. So I know that's the right resolution, but you need to double check what speed the frame rate is. So it might be 50 frames a second. You might be capturing at Ultra HD, which is this Ultra HD resolution. You might be capturing in NTSC, which is like American format, so that runs at a higher frame rate. So for me, I'm going to stick with PAL HD TV 1080i 16 by 9 1920 by 1080p at 25 frames a second. That's pretty good for me to upload to YouTube. So I'll select that option, and audio I normally leave it at the highest bit rate, so it's got the best quality, and then we just click OK. It's going to create a blank project for me, and the first thing I always do is save my work. So I'm going to go to File, Save As. Let's go to my desktop. Inside of here, I've got a folder, and I'm actually creating a tutorial for. I'm going to create this tutorial here, which is increasing bandwidth in this space. So I'm going to copy this. So I'm making a video tutorial. I've made the video tutorial, now I'm going to edit it basically. So normally what I do, inside of this directory, I've got the folder name of what this video tutorial is about, and inside here you can see 4 files. I'll explain those in a moment. But when I go to Magix and I save the file, I always give it the same name as the directory with a 01 at the end. That's what I do, because it's the first cut of this video. So let's save this. And when we save it, we'll see that file in here now. This is the make file for Magix Movie Edit Pro. So if I ever want to edit that video again, I can open up this file and it will give me all of the sequencing and all the content here. So inside of this folder, we can either view it in 2 different ways. We can either view it on the desktop inside the actual folder itself, or we can view it via Magix browser here, the content browser. So I'm going to go up a directory, and I've got this video here. Here it is, the same one, and we can see the same files in here as well. So we'll look at it from this directory perspective, and there's 2 ways to get that content into Magix. We can either drag and drop it from this directory here, this folder, or we can drag and drop it from here. Now inside of this folder I've got let's just put this into detailed view. So inside of here, I've got an intro slide. I've got an intro video that normally plays first. Then I've got an intro slide explaining what this video tutorial is about. It's about how to increase bandwidth in disk space for cPanel account using WHM. That's what the tutorial was about. And then I have an end slide, just like an outro and end slide. So those are the 4 files that I'm going to move into Magix. in the right sequence. So to do this, I'm going to actually browse to this directory here, and I'm going to drag and drop the intro. It's called Final 2017 Audio. That's why I called the intro, because that was the final cut of this intro that I did. So I'm going to drag and drop it into here and click. I don't want it to adjust the frame rate. The frame rate is fine. So I'm just going to do not adjust. This is fine. So as you can see, when I drag and drop it in here, it's only about 8 seconds long, this intro, 9 seconds long. And what Magix will do is try and stretch that across the full width of the timeline. We call this the timeline. And what I want to do, this is quite a beginner's tutorial, so I'm going to hold down the control key and I'm going to move my mouse wheel down to zoom out a bit, so I can see more of this particular video, or this content in the timeline. The other thing that you should do is click on this option here, timeline mode. There's different modes. You can see the content in different ways, but I prefer to use the timeline mode, especially when you're doing video editing. So that will be the intro. If you've seen any of my YouTube videos, you'll always see this intro at the beginning. Every sort of 6 to 12 months I'll change that. And this video intro I made using Blender, which is a 3D software application. It's free to use, so you can go to my YouTube channel and you can see some tutorials on Blender as well if you're interested in making a little intro for your YouTube videos or your Facebook videos. The next thing I'll do is drag and drop this intro slide. So I'm going to drag and drop that into here. And if we look at this intro slide, it's pretty basic. I'm just going to open it here so you can see how to increase bandwidth in disk space for a cPanel account using WHM. So always put the name of the tutorial here. I've got my logo, my website address, and asking people to subscribe if they want to subscribe. So that will be the intro. Now, with the intro, I want it to fade in and out. So I want this to play, but I want the intro, this video intro, to fade out and this intro slide to fade in. To do this, there's a few different ways to do it, but the easiest way to do it is just to grab this video and drag it into the intro like this. Now, it doesn't have to be a video here. It could have been another image. You can drag and slide them across, and you'll see a little X in there. It might be a little bit hard to see. If I we'll see that on the next transition here. When I do the next part, it'll be a bit easier to see. This orange cursor here is like the timeline cursor, and I can drag this across the timeline to different parts of the video. We'll play it from the beginning to start with, and you're going to hear some audio as well. And you'll see at the when the intro video finishes, it slides or transitions between these two elements in the timeline. It's quite a quick transition, and what you can do is, rather than playing the video from the beginning again and watching it all the way to this point, you can use your mouse and click here just above the timeline to position this timeline cursor. So I'll position it around here somewhere just to see this transition again. And you can stop and play it, and it will play from that position, so you can see that transition. And that's fine. It fades in, it fades out. That's what I want. So now I'm going to drag and drop the main video content. This is the main video content, but this content needs some editing, so I'm going to drag and drop it into here. And I'm not going to do the transition yet. I want to do some editing first. Now, when I start the video capture, so when actually capturing this video, I normally leave around 4 or 5 seconds of still video at the beginning, because I want to make sure when I do my cut there's enough space to do the transition. This will kind of make sense. So I'm going to drag the timeline here, and I'm going to play, and I'm going to wait until I hear some audio of me speaking, and it should be around 5 seconds around this sort of pointer. So we'll play it and we'll watch. Hi and welcome to this DCP web tutorial. So I know around this point here I start speaking, so all of this beginning part is basically a still image, and that still image allows me to scrub back a little bit to about this position. We'll play it one more time just to see that I'm speaking around here. Hi and welcome to, and that's fine. So I want to get rid of all of this blank space here. It's better to have the blank space and delete it afterwards than not have it at all and have a problem. So I always leave around 4 or 5 seconds of blank audio, then I'll cut it and then I'll do the transition afterwards. So it will make sense now. I'm going to use this tool here called the split object. So wherever I position the cursor, it's going to split the object into two. So let's click here and you'll see that there's now 2 sections. So I'm going to click on this section, I want to delete it. So I've got a little bit of blank audio or blank still frames here, and then I start speaking. So now I can take this and drag that into here, and I can make the transition a bit wider. You can see the transition was quite narrow here, and now it's a bit wider, and we can replay that. And we'll see the transition happen, and then I'll start to speak in this tutorial. Hi, and welcome to this DCP, and that's perfect. So I know that the video content is perfectly fine all the way to the end, and this video is about 3 minutes and 55 seconds long, but at the end I also leave some blank space. So I'm going to put my mouse cursor around here and play, and I look forward to seeing you on the next DCP web tutorial. So at this position I stop speaking, but I want to have some blank space again so that I can do the transition. So I want to transition about here. So I want to cut all of this end video off. So I'm going to use the cut tool again, and I'm going to delete this part. Now I can add the end slide. So I'm going to drag this end slide into here. And when I drag it, I want to make this end slide a lot longer. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to change photo length. And I'm going to set it to 20 seconds. And if you look at the actual end slide, you'll see there's these blank spaces at the bottom, and YouTube allows you to create an end slide on. I've done a tutorial on this actually on my YouTube channel, so if you look for end slide tutorial in my videos, you'll find it. And what it allows you to do is put a video here, and put some sort of subscription in the middle. So when it gets to this end slide here, it's going to show one video here, another video here that people can watch, and a subscription in the middle basically. So I'm going to take this end slide and drag it into the end of this video about this much here. So there's going to be a transition here, a basic transition. So I normally always double check that. So I'll scrub back a little bit to this point, click the play button and watch the transition, make sure it's okay. Seeing you on the next DCP web tutorial. And that's fine. So really I've done all the video editing I need to do on this video. It's pretty quick. I would normally do that a lot quicker, but I'm trying to explain it as I go along. These are just the basic editing tools in Magix Movie Edit Pro. I'm going to do a more advanced tutorial and show you some other ways of doing like special effect transitions and stuff like this. I don't normally use them, but I will do some further tutorials on Magix other transitions and all the other elements that you can play around with in here. So the last thing I want to do is save this work, and right now the video is not really, it's not really a filing. You could say that it's been edited in here, but it's not really the final file that you'll upload to YouTube or upload to Facebook. So to do that, we need to export the video. So we're going to click here on this arrow, this black arrow here. And it's going to ask me, do I want to upload it to Vimeo? I don't really want to upload it to Vimeo. I want to upload it as an output video. I want the file on my computer, so then I can choose to upload it to YouTube, and I can then choose to upload it to Facebook as and when I want to. So I'll click on output as video file. In the formatting, I always select MPEG 4. This gives me the best quality, and the quality setting I'm going to set to 2. I'm going to click save. It's going to ask me where do I want to save this file, and I want to save it into here. So I normally copy this folder name. This file name is actually okay. The reason why I always put a -01, there's a good reason for that. When I did the original video capture, I called it how to increase bandwidth. So that you can say that this is the original file here without any of the editing on it. So when I save this new file, it won't overwrite the original file basically. You can see that here as well. If I go to details, the new file has got a 01 at the end of it, and this one doesn't. This is the original file without any editing. So let's save this. This is going to take some time depending on the speed of your computer, depending on your CPU, how much RAM you've got, the video card that you're using. It can take a few minutes, it can take half an hour, depending on the video length itself as well. That can really factor in how long this video editing will happen. So in here, if I order it by size, or if we look at this video down here, this is the one that is creating at the moment. You can see that it's increasing by bandwidth. It's the file size is increasing as it's creating the video. So every few seconds this file size will increase because it's adding more content to the video itself. So I'm pretty sure there's a way of setting up hardware acceleration. I may look at that in a future tutorial. Hardware acceleration should in theory speed up the process, but I'm not going to bore you and leave you to sit here and watch this timeline. Once that video is finished, it should play automatically, so it will you can watch the video automatically. And if you select this option after it's done exporting, it will shut down the computer as well if you want it to do that. So what I'll do actually in my next tutorial for Magix Movie Edit Pro Plus is I'm going to show you how to batch process many videos at the same time, because you can see this is taking quite a bit of time. It's going to take about 17 minutes to do that video, but wouldn't it be nice if you could have 10 videos all editing one after the other, making these final videos all one after the other, and you can just go away and go and do something else for a little while and come back and you'll have all of your 5 or 6 or 10 videos all edited in a sequence. So we'll do that in the next tutorial. That's something a bit more advanced. Okay, I look forward to seeing you on the next DCP Web tutorial.